I got the God Roll Ikelos SMG, and it's my absolute favorite weapon. In this video, I'll go over all the best rolls it gets, which ones you want to look for, how to craft it, and why this is my favorite weapon of all time. I'm Marshix, and I make Destiny 2 guides for solo players. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. This is an ARC 750 RPM SMG that has access to some of the best perks, a solid origin trait, and it can spawn Warmind cells. The origin trait is called Rasputin's Arsenal. Breaking a target's shield partially reloads this weapon's magazine. This refills about half of the magazine, and you don't have to match the shield type. It's one of the better origin traits. It also spawns Warmind cells. If you have any Warmind cell mod equipped, every 5 kills with this weapon will spawn an orange ball. You can shoot this to create a big explosion, or depending on the mods you're using, you can do a lot of other effects like suppression, burning, or chain lightning. More on that in a minute. It gets access to all of these perk options. For PvE, the most notable options are Frenzy, Surrounded, and Volt Shot. Frenzy for a 15% damage buff when you're in combat for 12 seconds. You're basically always in combat, so you're always going to have this. Surrounded just got a buff, so it now provides a 40% damage buff whenever 3 or more enemies are nearby. One of the highest damage perks in the game. And Volt Shot will jolt enemies by reloading after a kill. This will create chain lightning and deal a surprising amount of damage to the jolted target. It can also activate certain abilities like Spark of Ions. For the other column, we have access to perks like Feeding Frenzy, Threat Detector, and I know these are seen as PvP perks, but I quite enjoy Perpetual Motion and Killing Wind. With all of this in mind, which perk combos should you look for? First is Threat Detector and Surrounded, specifically for very aggressive close range combat. When you're near multiple enemies, this will gain increased reload speed, stability, handling, and that massive 40% damage buff. You'll need to rush every encounter to get any benefits, but this thing is a monster once it gets going. I recommend pairing this roll with Spark of Resistance for damage resistance near enemies, and you could also use Reaping Wellmaker to spawn Void Wells after dodging or using your thruster, then pick them up for another damage resist with Well of Tenacity. You'll also be spawning Warmind cells, so you can collect them to get an overshield on top of that with Sheltering Energy. For a very consistent roll in any situation, go with Perpetual Motion and Frenzy. Perpetual Motion will improve your stability, handling, and reload speed while you're in motion. You're using an SMG. Hopefully you aren't standing still, so this will be active basically all the time. Same thing with Frenzy. You'll have its damage buff all the time since you're always in combat anyway. The stat increases are smaller than the previous roll, but you have them way more often. But the roll that made me fall in love with this weapon is Feeding Frenzy and Volt Shot. I'm just gonna say it because none of you will. I'm bricked. Feeding Frenzy will increase reload speed for each kill. Volt Shot requires a kill and a reload to start the jolting, so they play off each other well. Volt Shot has always been top tier, but this gun takes it to a new level. Not only does it take out hordes of enemies, but everything killed by the chain lightning counts towards spawning Warmind cells, so you can create tons of mini nukes. Now, how do you get this weapon? Well, you first need to get resonant stims through playlist activities or through heist battlegrounds. You get either 2 or 3 for strikes, and you get 4 from battlegrounds. Once you have 4 or more, you can use the resonant amp in your inventory. You then need to go wherever it tells you and find a Warmind music box. Interact with it and you'll get one of the 4 Ikelos weapons. If you don't get the SMG, keep doing it over and over until you eventually get it. Once you unlock all 4 of them, go to the Exo vendor in the helm. Purchase the Ikelos focusing upgrade and you'll be able to focus Umbrals into the SMG. All of these have a chance to have a red border, and once you have 5 red borders, you can craft it at the Enclave for a guaranteed god roll with enhanced perks. If you can craft it, it's definitely worth it. For the Warmind cell mods, you can only get them through Ada. She sells 4 random mods each day, so you have to check back every day and hope she has what you're looking for. If you don't have any of them, Global Reach is already on all your gear, and that's all you really need to start spawning Warmind cells. There are a ton of great weapons this season that you'll probably want to grind for, so check out this video to see how to get them and get guaranteed red border versions so you can craft them for yourself. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.